really the main focus. Going into this quarter, there was an expectation that Tesla could lower that full year delivery number of 50,000. And, given that they said 17 to 19,000, which is better than most people expected for Q4, that gets you, 50 to 52,000 and, essentially not worrying about missing that 50,000 delivery. So with delivery still on track, that's really the focus. The bottom line is really not something that people pay as much attention to and likely shouldn't, but top line was still solid, and deliveries, were expectations or better than expectations.
Okay, so a lot of focus on deliveries, a lot of focus on top line. The bottom line, do you think losses have peaked for the company?
It's a great question. It's hard to say if they peaked, depending on what they spend going forward. I would like to think that they have peaked, but that's, too hard to really call. Looking at it from an investor point of view and then from a positive Tesla stock call, I think you need to see deliveries continue. And if deliveries continue to that pace, and if they are really able to get 1,600 to 1,800 a week next year, that gets you in a $7 billion plus revenue number, which is significant growth from this year. So, again, that's why the focus is on deliveries, because that gets you to the growth that we need to see.
And the delivery is a big question, isn't it? Because so far we know they spent a lot of money to launch the new Model X. I mean, what do you know about the car? I mean, a lot of people are saying, will it pay off?
No, that's I think one of the $1 million questions. Can they get it on time? Right now they're saying late March. Time will tell. And quite honestly, I think it's more important about the long-term delivery plan rather than just near-term quarter by quarter. If this company is going to be very disruptive, to the automobile industry, they have to ship more than, 100,000 units in any given year. And, they're on pace to get to a large 80,000 plus number next year, but they're still at the very tip of an iceberg in terms of disruption.
Bradley, are you concerned about the company's exposure to Scandinavia? Because, Norway, the krona has taken a big hit. Tesla, of course, has big exposure to that. Are you expecting any more currency losses for the company?
And another fantastic question. I think if you look at currency across the board, that is a concern in terms of what will that affect in terms of profitability and even revenues for the company. Am I concerned? Not really. I think there's enough diversification for Tesla, especially moving forward, and that's not something that really should derail the story at all.
What about new leadership? I mean, they just put in place a new CFO. They put in a new person as well for sales. What do you make of this new leadership?
Yeah, and another great question. If you look at Jason Wheeler coming from Google, he was really highly respected. I think you saw some positive reaction, especially after Elon made the comment about him joining the company. And it's no surprise that they needed to announce a CFO. I think it's a good choice for the company, and it was really hard to find anything that negative coming from this quarter. Now it comes down to execution, and can the company continue to execute?
Okay, Bradley, in terms of automakers, how does this compare to the other automakers, Volkswagen? I mean, technically, Tesla, a lot of people are saying it's a technology company, not an automaker. So, how would you compare this to the other automakers?
Yeah, it's another good question. I think if you look in terms of the field, it's really the most, it's the largest disruptor. And, the reason we like Tesla is a technology company, and they are, very sophisticated battery makers. If you look at the traditional auto suppliers, and auto numbers are very strong, and Phil made that comment earlier prior to jumping on. I think right now we're in a positive spot ex-Volkswagen, given the sort of scandal that took place. But if you look at the field, everybody's doing quite well. But if you look at a longer-term basis and who's really a major disruptor for the industry, Tesla's really it. And that's the reason why it gets such a high valuation. That's the reason why it's so exciting from a growth perspective. But again, it's really an execution story from here.